One of the blessings and the curses of going through this pandemic and the stay-at-home orders is that my calendar is very empty. That's kind of a nice thing because normally we're always complaining that we're so busy and we have to run here and we run there and we don't have time for this and we get so tired out so easily. And I think this season of life is one of the benefits is that we got to slow down our pace and we get to breathe a little bit and we don't have to run as much, although we wish we could run a little bit more than we do. Maybe somewhere on the other side of this, we'll find a little more balance in our lives. We'll learn to say no to some things and figure out what to say yes to. But anyway, the idea of having an empty calendar is a blessing in that way, but it's also a curse in that there's so many things I want to do, and I want to fill up my days with so many different things. And between family and church, I definitely am staying very busy. The good thing is I have a little bit more flexibility on when I do things because I have very few appointments or set times that I have anything to do. I just know I got to get these things done today, whether it's at home or with the kids or here at church, and I get those things done in the time that I have, and I'm not worried about looking at my watch and thinking I got to get here and I got to get there and figure it all out. So that's kind of what we're kind of going through right now. And I mean, I think for most of us, then we are planners. Some of us more than others. I love to plan. I love to plan ahead. I like to pace myself. That's kind of my secret. I really love to pace myself, whether it's my day or whether it's my week or whatever. And I really like to, if I know what's going on and I have everything in order, then I know what I need to give a lot of energy to and what I need to pull back a little bit on and where I can kind of coast a little bit. And I have lots of energy. I can get lots of things done. But I can only do it when I know how to pace myself very well. So being a planner, as I am, I've had to step back and go, okay, I really don't know what another day is going to bring. And even yesterday, the governor brought in his guidelines for how we're going to reopen the state of Illinois. And even as I look at the different phases that are on there, I don't know when we're going to move from one phase to the next. And looking at phase 5, it looks like this pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It's like, oh my gosh, I wish we could get to phase 5. It gives us something to look forward to. The day when we're kind of getting back to normal again with that phase. But we don't know how long it's going to be. It looks like it could be a long time. The numbers of cases and deaths keep rising, and yet we're talking about reopening, and so it's kind of a confusing, crazy time. And people have all their different opinions all over the spectrum. Do we need to play it safe and cautious, save more lives, stay at home more restrictions, or do we need to, hey, let's let the dam burst and let's get out there and do what we need to do to save the economy and get things back going again? And it's very confusing to know where we are in the midst of these two extremes or somewhere in the middle. But the Bible talks about us and our plans. And a couple places. One's in the book of Proverbs, the wisdom book in the Old Testament. In Proverbs 27, verse 1, it says, "Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring." It's not saying don't plan for tomorrow. Planning for tomorrow is a very good thing. Other places in the Bible we're told to make plans. But to boast about our plans, to get our pride and our confidence in our plans, that's a big mistake. We don't want to do that. It's echoed again in the New Testament, in the book of James, chapter 4. Starting at verse 13, it says, "Come now, you who say, today or tomorrow we'll go into such and such a town and spend a year there and we'll trade and make a profit. For you do not know what tomorrow will bring. What is your life? For you are like a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes. Instead, you ought to say, if the Lord wills, we will live and do this or that. As it is, you boast in your arrogance, and all such boasting is evil." Let's not boast about tomorrow. We can be excited about tomorrow. We can make our plans, but let's not boast and feel like we're in charge of our own circumstances. We're in charge of our own calendar. Definitely, to an extent, We can make our plans, but it's the Lord that guides our steps. So let's let him do that, even if he slows us down quite a bit for a long time, like it's happening now. Let's accept that. Let's accept the steps that God's given us, and let's fill our days with things that are going to bring him glory, and to do the things that's going to restore our souls and to make us better than we were before. So let's do that as we work on our calendars this week and in the weeks to come.